Welcome back, nerds. Today we are painting yet another red-headed warrior lady. 2 in a row. So what? Buckle up. So, Chris has taken the liberty of haphazardly prepping and priming all the parts. And right about now, you may be asking yourself, why are we painting another red-haired lady? Well, idiots, I'll tell you why. He obviously has a new sponsor, and he needed a character with lots of gold parts. The red hair was simply incidental. It was either this or this. And even Chris isn't lazy enough to paint that guy. Breaking with tradition, we are forgoing the whole zenithal process and jumping straight to the skin. Starting with, you guessed it, pink. Wrong! We're starting with Warlord Purple. For today, Chris is casting aside all normal conventions to satisfy his unrelenting urge to torment stupid-ass Glenn. Fuck you, Glenn. Would you look at that? Chris's sponsor also sent him an airbrush. I assume this company is pronounced Gallery, and this airbrush seems as well built as models that cost 3 times as much. But there's only one way to be sure, by abusing it like any other shelf candy tool. Let's put it through its paces, shall we? Oh yeah, they sent us some thinner we're gonna try out as well. So Chris isn't merely trolling Glenn. He is painting the Warlord Purple first because he wants to get it into all the shadowed areas. And if he started with pink, he would likely have to fight to cover any pink that worked its way into the nooks and crannies. So unless you like doing the same step twice, that's your time-saving trick for the day. Once you've laid that down, then it's time for the pink. Dilute this, just like the purple. Apply this volumetrically. Chris starts with the upward-facing surfaces, then blends it into the areas that would be in shadow. Take your time here. You want complete saturation on the upward-facing surfaces. The following skin tone layers will be highly diluted, and this step, if Chris does it correctly, will impart a warm tonal shift that will make the skin feel more natural. Now for the skin, Chris is unsurprisingly starting with base flesh. Highly dilute this. Oh, hold on. We need to abruptly mention the channel. Perfect. Now where were we? Ah yes. Get complete coverage with this, but don't go fully opaque. Remember, we want to preserve some of that pink and purple. Now's the perfect time to mention that if you like this video, you should tell the world. It's easy. Just touch that button down there. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. I should also mention that if you share this video, you will live forever. For the middle value, Chris has loaded up natural flesh. And as per usual, he's applying this primarily to the upward and front-facing surfaces. For the highlights, we're using the aptly named highlight skin. Chris is only applying this to the upward-facing surfaces. He's also going more light and pasty than usual, given that she is an angelic being or something. Who knows? It's some weird dorky shit. Now is the point where Chris usually unleashes the fabled paint of legend, Orcish dermis. But not today. For today, a mighty hero has emerged. A powerful warlock by the name of JV has used profane alchemy to conjure a near-perfect proxy of this rare pigment.
Look what you have made.
This is Orcish vermis. A link to his video where he shares this forbidden recipe can be found in the description below. Watch it, make it, and rejoice. Now just a little mahogany ink to simulate eyeshadow, and the skin is done. So pretty. It's worth noting that this Mobius airbrush is performing beautifully. See? Perfect. Now before we begin the ultimate test, Chris must prepare a few parts with the blasphemous shroud of protection known as silly putty. As many of you know, the Toledo Painters Guild has forbid the use of this heretical tool masquerading as a child's toy for over 1,000 years. Its potency is unrivaled. Simply apply thin sheets and press it up to the edges you wish to mask. To aid in application along the edges, you can still get yourself a 12-pack of the Shelf Candy Silly Putty Adjustment and Removal Tools on Amazon for a limited time discounted price. Get yours today. Once this is complete, Chris will punish his new airbrush with all-clad gloss black lacquer, an unreasonably cruel fate for a .2mm airbrush. But thus is the destiny of any tool sent to Chris for review. So be warned, sponsors, for these are the consequences of entrusting your products to a lunatic. Lacquer is not something you want to leave in your airbrush. Though he did thoroughly clean it, he's not a monster, despite what the Toledo Painters Guild may have told you. It might not be obvious here, but if you're cleaning the tip, be sure to pull back the trigger like Chris is, or retract the needle. Failure to do so would be a regrettable oversight that will haunt you for eternity. The needle is delicate, like Glenn's stupid feelings. Now, Chris will embark on the two-step goldification process, starting with this scorched gold. As usual, Chris will thin this slightly, as he does with any paint he runs through his airbrush. This paint goes on smooth. It's a pleasing, almost bronze tone, perfect as an undercoat for vibrant gold highlights, which Chris will now apply with this flashy gold. He's laying this down almost volumetrically on the upward and front-facing surfaces, places he imagines the gold would be catching light. Now, before this dries, let's risk ruining all our previous work by removing the silly putty. Why don't you wait till it dries, you ask? Well, great question, nerds. Both have their risks. Fully cured paint has a tendency to peel up off the surface you just painted, which is fucking annoying, as where wet paint just has a chance of leaving residue on the masked surface, and that risk can be minimized by being careful. Now let's paint this gigantic base. Chris is gonna start with this dark sand color that's named Cam Gray Green for no good reason. Then he'll stupidly dry brush it with Iraqi sand before painting the rocks, thus forcing him to do the dry brush pass twice. It's not the end of the world, since he's using the same highlight color on both elements, but still, it's buffoonery nonetheless, and must be called out. Now, for those aforementioned rocks, Chris will thin this dark sea gray with his tears of regret and painstakingly paint each one before quickly dry brushing them and forgetting to record it. Finally, a bit of surgically placed skeleton horde will increase the contrast around the rocks. Then we can move on to the gross monster elements of this base. Starting with violet red. Obviously, you're gonna want to dilute its brains out. Chris will base coat whatever this thing is, some kind of weird-ass monster jaw. Then, as you'll see, there's multiple parts and an obvious seam, because there always is. Chris will just use thick superglue to fill that before painting the inside mouthy parts. Now, using Old Rose as his base tone, Chris will start building up values until he's satisfied with how mouthy it looks. There's probably a correct way to go about this, but Chris prefers the just try stuff until you get tired of it approach. Once again harnessing the unholy power of JV's heretical concoction, he will start spotting his shadows and the edges where the inner mouth meets. We'll just say those are the lips. You don't know the anatomy of whatever this thing is either. Now mixing a little transparent red and a little Doomfire magenta, Chris is going to further darken the recesses. Being mindful not to go over one specific area, he wants to preserve that light rose color just along the gum line. Now Chris is going to use hexed lichen and apply it on the other side of the gums to really accent the material separation. And with this neutral gray, he's going to dry brush some highlights onto this hippopotamus demon base thing. It's just a little too saturated. This gray is a brighter value than the violet red he used for the base, so this pass will both highlight and desaturate the demon hippo. Now with a little deck tan, let's paint these. Well, we're just going to go ahead and call these eyes. Maybe they're infinity stones, perhaps some type of fruit. All that matters is we have to paint them. Taking a little break from the base, let's paint Angela's butt cape. First, we're going to base coat it with concrete. This will be our shade. Then Chris will switch to aged white for the highlights. He wants to lighten it significantly, while also building it up to full opacity on the upward-facing surfaces. Then we're going to grab some Sigor brown, because we're about to paint a leather belt, and there's only one right way to paint a leather belt. And this is it. So pay attention, Glenn. You punk bitch. As far as belts go, it's worth mentioning that this might be it's pretty damn big. Like that's about a love seat's worth of leather. And all it's doing is holding up that butt cape. It also has that scabbard, I guess. Maybe that sword is made of something really dense and heavy, like the sun. Yeah, maybe it's made of the sun. While we have the Sigor brown handy, we might as well paint these little armpit straps too. Now some of you may be noticing a comical amount of visible support marks on the back here. Fear not, Angela has an equally comical amount of hair that will conveniently hide all that shame. Now back to the base. Highly diluting a 1-to-1 mixture of black and flesh tearers red, Chris will apply a wash to the mouth, focusing mainly on the recesses. This will be very runny, so keep a paper towel or any absorbent garment belonging to a sworn enemy handy to catch any drips and to dab away any excess. You will want to quickly wipe away any wash that gets on the raised surfaces. We want those to retain their lighter, fleshy pink value. If you would like to learn a fun fact, just stare quietly at your television. Great! Go ahead and like and subscribe while I look up something you can use to impress your friends. Let's see. No, that's lame. Ah, fascinating. Okay, did you know? Angela was a character created by Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman as a foil for Spawn. Well, apparently there was a lengthy legal dispute over who actually owned the rights, and ultimately Neil emerged victorious and immediately sold the character to Marvel, who coincidentally bankrolled Neil's lawsuit. Isn't that fun? In another coincidence, Neil has recently found himself in a spot of bother and is in court once again. If you're a fan of Neil's work and also the type of person who has trouble separating the art from the artist, well, you probably don't want to Google it. You know what? Just forget I said anything. So, let's see how Chris is coming along. Oh wow, Chris, that looks so good, right? Right, everybody? What are you gonna do next? Do it now, I made it weird. All right, blue-violet for painting the, fuck me. Yeah, so, be careful not to get it on the skin. I bet the base is dry. Wanna paint those stupid teeth now? Great, using highlight skin, Chris is gonna base coat each of these 300 teeth. This is the part of the project where Chris wonders to himself if there was a smarter, faster way to handle these, because he also gets to go over them at least 2 more times with washes and dry brush passes. Fun times.
Shelf candy! Shelf candy!
Ooh, the belt.
Shelf candy!
And some beige brown, clearly signifying to the Toledo Painters Guild that we are about to do some dry brushing. The following leatherification process is simple and gratifying. 2 things the Guild find to be repugnant. Bear witness. For the speed in which this single base coat is magically transformed into leather is the same speed in which the Guild's tyrannical dogma withers and dies. With a very dry brush, just scrub this on. We're just adding contrast and the appearance of wear. This vial contains the purified essence of the fabled chrome apples of Montana. And with it, we shall anoint the belt buckle and the excessive amount of rivets, giving them a mirror-like finish. Did you know? This unholy liquid has been cultivated by the Chromanese people of Montana for ages. And legally, you can't even call a product chrome unless it actually comes from the chrome region of Montana. It's true. Ask your chat GPT about it. And if I'm wrong, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. I dare you.
Shelf candy!
All right, all these damn teeth, let's just get it over with. First, Chris is applying a black wash, because it currently looks like this monster sticks to a pretty strict oral hygiene regiment. And according to Chris's little nerd brain, that doesn't seem very plausible. Chris's main concerns here are to make sure there's an obvious dark edge where each tooth meets the gum, and that each cavity-looking detail gets filled. Otherwise, he is just slopping it on. Now with this neutral gray, he will dry brush about 3/4 the way down each tooth. This doesn't need to be perfect, and it's debatable whether it's even necessary at all, but he did it, and you're watching the evidence. Now with Dectan, he is focusing solely on the tips and edges, and while he does that, we shall honor his brave, handsome, genius, patriotic legion. For without their noble sacrifice, this slop you are watching wouldn't be possible. You too can join this noble alliance. The link is in the description. It's even up there in the corner. See it? It's right there.
Shelf candy!
You can make some friends, and there's giveaways and shit. It couldn't be easier to join, and only with your help can we hope to defeat the Toledo Painters Guild. What are you waiting for? They're doing their part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit!
Final step. With some clear gloss, we're gonna make the wet parts wet. Chris is just covering the whole inner mouth and hitting a few of the teeth just to add a few spots of random specularity, implying demon hippo saliva or something. And finally, the base is done, and we can move on to the hair. For the base tone, we will be using rust. You may have noticed Chris has once again harnessed the power of silly putty, adding a +50 to those parts' defense stats. Try to cover all the black. Once this is done, Chris will mix equal parts German orange and orange fire, then add a couple drops of red, before volumetrically painting on a basic highlight from mostly the top down. Just magnificent. All right, it's the final stretch, just a few details left. Then you can all get back to doing something productive, like sharing this video.
Do it!
So whatever these decorative arm technology things are, Chris based them with gray and then topped that off with some aged white. Not going totally opaque on the undersides. Now using fire red, Chris is gonna quickly paint the edge details on the arm whatever they are. Then after that dries, he will give it a quick acrylic gloss coat with this Krylon Crystal Clear, before sanctifying the panel lines with Tamiya Panel Liner. This stuff should flow very easily through the panel lines, and precision is not important. Once it dries, take a Q-tip with some enamel thinner on it and just wipe away all your embarrassing oopsies. It's super duper easy. Now that the hair is dry, let's dry brush on some highlights with this stupidly named buff, and then we can call the hair done. Chris is going to start with a makeup brush that he stole from his wife, then switch to a smaller Artis Opus brush to work in the areas he wants more control. Not because she came and yelled at him and took it away. Chris is just lightly working this on. It's better to gently build it up. Don't just go jamming it in. That's what we in the business call glenning. Okay, so whether you like it or not, Chris is gonna give you his unfiltered thoughts on this gallery airbrush. As you can see, he obviously just beat the ever-living shit out of this thing. What the fuck, dude? And despite the complete lack of reverence shown to this tool, Chris is pleased to announce the Mobius airbrush has survived the trials of damnation. It's important to mention that Gallery did not pay Chris for this review. These are his unfiltered thoughts. And he is comparing it to heavy hitters like this poor tormented Iwata Eclipse that's so clogged he can't even remove the needle. Dude, you really need to take better care of your shit. It was also up against this fancy Squidmar evolution that he only used twice because the tip prevents him from backflushing the cup. Let's just say he has more airbrushes than a hipster has typewriters. So let's check out the features. It has a handy paint limiter on the handle, which Chris's Eclipse, his favorite airbrush, does not have. This was useful when painting Angela's eyeshadow. It also has an air regulator right on the front. Yet another feature his Eclipse is lacking. No more reaching down to your compressor to adjust the airflow for speckling and freckles. It performed as well as his Iwata, and guess how much it costs? Crazy, right? Look, nerds, if you're looking for an inexpensive but quality airbrush, pick one up. Links and discount codes are in the description. Oh shit, I almost forgot the paint. Chris only used these 2 golds, and they were fine. He is looking forward to trying some of the other colors in his next video. They're also running an Amazon Black Friday promotion, and you can stack discounts. So use my code in the description to arm yourself against the Toledo Painters Guild.
Shelf Candy!
It's time to finish. The Sword of Kalis.
This sword belongs to all Klingons.
All that's left to do is take this transparent red and paint this detail. I assume this is supposed to be the blood of the tyrant Molor, Kalis's greatest adversary. Did you know? Angela acquired this legendary bat'leth in outer space between getting laid off from Image Comics and starting her new position at Marvel as another one of Thor's sisters. Oh, I guess those are done. Chris will now move on to painting these little gem things that are all over the place with ethermatic blue. He first did a light coat completely covering each gem, and is now stippling on more coats, staying closer and closer to the edges with each successive coat. This will make it look rounder. He will then stipple on some pure white, just on the very tip top, to make it look magical or something. We finally made it. All that's left is the face. And using fire red, Chris is gonna first add her Klingon war paint. Thankfully, it's just straight lines. So just don't overload your brush, close your eyes, pull your stroke, and hope for the best. Perfect. Now some black for the eyeliner. Again, don't overload your brush, and slightly dilute it so it flows nice and smooth. There's no need to worry about getting this on the eyeball itself. We're gonna paint that next. Now just some deck tan for the sclera. This girl is all sclera. She has no irises or pupils to contend with, so if you're lazy like Chris, you're welcome. Now for the lips. We're starting with hexed lichen. Then we will add some warlord purple, being careful to leave the edges dark. For this, Chris likes to do almost imperceptibly short strokes, following the natural direction of lip wrinkles. Now to accent the eyes, we're going to take a tiny amount of Imperial Fist yellow and paint it along the inside edge of the eyeballs. This is pretty easy. You don't even need to worry about getting it on the black. Only a fuckwit like Glenn would notice something like that. All right, guys, I think it's done. Behold! All right, I'm gonna go now. Subscribe. Fuckers!
Wait tomorrow, and it's too late for today to make it, so you should have it. You should do it now.